Right, welcome back. Last time we went ahead and annexed Totonuk, so now my territory is actually contiguous in actuality rather than just in domain. So now my name is a bit more stretchy than I planned for. A bit too much spacing between the letters is what I mean. Oh well. I'm sure it will improve itself later. I have also gone ahead and upgraded military organization to level 5 bureaucratic administration, which is nice. Though I am currently rather low when it comes to how loyal the nobility are, so yeah, that's going to be difficult to deal with. Oh well. I'm not planning that many major reforms, at least not any that would step on the toes of the nobility. At best, it's just going to be some trade law reform. And some bureaucratic reforms, though. That's going to have other effects. Still doing some rebel hunting. Not much has changed, in fact. I was in the middle of the rebellion when I stopped the session last time, so... But that's getting cleaned up now. Nothing to worry about. I have to restart the grain dole. Okay. Wait, no, I did that at the end of the last session. Right. Promote the bureaucrats faction. Why not? We'll at least ensure that the bureaucrats are at the very top of the list. Which will give me more legitimacy via faction support. Although it will reduce gain legitimacy because the aristocrats are no longer in power. It'll also slightly increase corruption gain, but it should be fun. A wage increase might help. At the very least, will reduce corruption gain from all sources. Though I will say this, laws are the biggest source. Rotating all tenures would help deal with that. Problem is, I cannot afford to lose that much noble loyalty. As a result, it is not a good idea for me to do that. At all. So... Still, though, reducing the amount of gain caused by low wages would help. Though it will increase corruption by a lot. Oh, fine. I'm just gonna have to deal with very high corruption for a while. But only for a while. It's not gonna be that bad. I just hope my income doesn't get too hurt, but I've got a decent treasury, so... the amount of property maintenance is... interesting. I wonder how to... I mean, so far, the power costs and the money costs have not seemed in any way related to each other. Oh well, I'm getting lots of money from property, which is good. The main problem is that a lot of that is lost to corruption. Thankfully less than a third. Just look at that much corruption. But yeah, the fact that wages no longer... Yeah, wages are now at 1 times, which is a good sign. Though I probably should... yeah. Actual anti-corruption measure. Yeah, let's just do recall corrupt officials. This will heavily speed up the reduction in provincial corruption and help me gain back my income more quickly. Now I think about it, there was only one uprising this session. It's slowing down a bit. Amazing. This province has a lot of... And it's gone again. No, it's the wrong province. This one? Okay, that's really weird. I guess it just suddenly started getting unrest? It's not going to decay on its own anyway. That explains why the missionary has stopped. But you can at least reduce the unrest somewhat in order to get it going again. Without the unrest would actually go really fast. 4.5%. Even reducing that by 2.5% would be good to get it done decently quickly. And I believe the grain dole I keep forgetting to refresh the grain dole until the end of the session, which has some interesting consequences. Anyway. Right. Not that much has occurred. Yeah, that war's over. Entirely separate war. Ashikaga is going up against France again. And has occupied the Far East, well, for the southern portions of French Siberia, again, as well as the Kurils. Yeah. Nothing new here. Yeah, I don't need to focus on the institutions anyway. That's right. So, let's see here. Is there anything I can do here? Nope. Just a quick checkup to see if there's anything interesting that I can give the estates. Theoretically, I could donate to the church, but that might not be the best idea. For the reason that I've recently made a reform to get rewards and incentives, which makes it so that wages no longer have, well, 100% wages, that's a 1, and 2, because wages are now at 100%, the effect of... Here it is. The effect on corruption caused by wages is scaled down to 1 times, which is good. It means that there's no longer going to be... It reduces all sources of corruption. On the side, I've also done some other stuff. Specifically, done the one that reduces corruption gain by 2. Provincial corruption by 2. There it is. Yearly, minus 0.2 yearly provincial corruption. Which is allowing it to rapidly go down. Because that reform had quite the effect. Interestingly enough, that it seems to have a higher effect in provinces with higher autonomy. Fascinating. Yeah. At the very least, it's enough to bring it down to 0, assuming that is maintained, but it's never possible to maintain that for long. Anyway, yeah, I've just been converting religions of provinces, which is taking its sweet time. But it's getting there. It just takes a while. Also, it does seem like the Wastelands have their own religions. Not sure if that's intentional or not, or it just allows for things to cross over Wastelands without trouble. Too much trouble. Although, on the other hand... Yeah, that seems to actually be the case. It makes it so that it doesn't start stretching under here like this. It's an interesting possibility to make the map look better at the beginning, but the question is, what happens when it all changes? For example, theoretically, the Calvinist provinces are all actually connected to each other, thanks to these. However, the name is just over here instead of, stretching over like this, like it would be. Now that, yeah, it does seem like a means to allow for a colored-in wasteland effect the political map mode has for the religious map mode, but it doesn't seem to work properly in that, A, it does not take on the color, the wasteland does not take on the color of religion. It's not designed to do that. And it does not change depending on the surrounding provinces. For example, this little wasteland right here is entirely surrounded by Calvinist provinces, and yet it still maintains that Great Plains religion. Although it's nice to see a large salmon on the map. Or Sunny over here. Does make it look quite nice. Anyway. I've also decided to start integrating Colima after I got an expedition from Aragon in the Gulf of Mexico. Well, to put it in perspective, the effectiveness of that, I have Miltech 47. Aragon has Miltech 40. In fact, every tech level, I have tech level 47, Aragon has tech level 40. Sadly, they happen to be rather far behind compared to the rest of Europe, otherwise... yeah, I might start having my own fun over there. Oh well. I do believe there's a certain tech level in which line slots are no longer a thing. Free alliance slots 9. International influence, hegemonic +5, idea groups +1. Well, it would have to be late game, if that were the case. Well, it looks like there's another war in Eastern Europe. Involving Lithuania. Attacking Livonia. I don't think it's doing too great. But they're no longer allied with Poland. Because Poland's at war with Sweden. Oh, I see, okay. Yeah, I see it now. This isn't one war, this is two separate wars. I get it now. Rebellious division. Still Saffrosia. Right, I've gone on long enough. Dealing with corruption, if slowly, from recent reforms. Specifically, increasing in wages. This has quite the impact on my expenses. Wages are now over 2,000 ducats a year. This is nothing compared to everything else. However, I do earn a decent amount of money anyway. Because somehow my income from taxation is higher than my realm expenses. Oh wait, that was last year. Right, this value is from last year. The actual current value is almost certainly different. Because realm expenses. Yeah. I have not actually been paying much attention here. Things going alright here? Yes, definitely. Yeah. Is there anything else really? Quite a bit of Teutonic culture, but it's not very much. The cultures in Mesoamerica are extremely distributed and low development. Low in development. Europe it's different. There's lots of large cultures that have high levels of development, but there's also intermixed a couple of cultures that don't exactly have much to them, for example. Although some of this is possibly due to cultural conversion. I mean, the game has been going on for a while. I mean, look how much Serbian culture is interspersed into here. Or how far-gone Slovakian culture is. There's also German Silesian, but that's a special case. And then there's China, which has, yeah. China is a game you play for the short game, not the long game. Because the long game ends up likely being dreadfully boring due to hegemony. And basically guaranteed hegemony. I mean, they're rank 4, but that's only because they have not embraced any institution after commercialization. Excepting one. Specifically, Colombian imports. On the other hand, they have more dev than... Almost, well... Their great power ranking is only slightly less. Their base great power ranking is only slightly less than the top 3 combined. Like maybe 100, 200 less? It's honestly surprising. But China's just an economic powerhouse due to sheer population combined with a level of political unity. India shares that level of population, but not the political unity. France has the political unity, for example, at least once we've reached this era, but not the population. In fact, most of Europe does not contain the population. Closest example is the Holy Roman Empire. Definitely, well, pretty close to the population. Definitely not the political unity. That changes with the Industrial Revolution, though. That has had knock-on effects to no end. But I really have gone on long enough. Wow. Not much happened, so I guess we are buffering out the length with a long end note. Anyway, I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.